think we're rolling.
What's cooking, everybody? I think we're live.
Think so.
Yes, we are. Stream is healthy.
Hey yo.
I want to. What's cooking, everybody? We got nobody here. Let's just chat between the two of us.
Let's
here
do it.
right now.
Let's chit
But yeah,
chat.
check it out. We're looking good.
Oh, there he is.
So we've got Connor here. We've got second Connor.
I'm Connor too. Blonde Connor or Blonner, as some people know me.
There's 0 people watching, so let's just kind of let this thing warm up.
Let's just chill. We'll wait for them. They'll show up though.
So I'm pretty excited to be doing this right now. This is just a couple of. It's been, I don't know, a month, 2 months since we were gonna work together.
Yeah.
We were gonna make a project together, and I deleted all the footage.
Yeah, I formatted my card too.
And so we weren't able to get that video out.
We're professionals.
And then we made another video this week, which is coming out soon. Connor is literally live editing it as we speak. But I want to introduce all of you guys to Zachariah Mayfield.
Hello.
He's an amazing friend who's new to Nashville.
Yeah.
You're from?
I'm from Nebraska.
Originally.
Small town.
And Zachariah is, I'm just going to now start calling him Zach.
Yeah, that's fine.
What I call him.
Yeah.
But he's in a rock band. This is their album.
We're using my albums as coasters for coffee.
But he's an amazing musician, guitar player. And the name of the band is called Earth Groans. And if you have Spotify, Apple Music, any of those,
check
you
it
can
out.
listen to them. Or you could actually buy the album and support Zach.
We know that no one does that anymore.
Yeah, nobody does
I actually
that.
don't buy albums anymore.
But we have 10 people watching. I noticed that the stream was buffering. Are you guys seeing buffering or not? Because we cranked our bitrate up because Zach has literally like
we have like almost 800
megabytes
megabits per second upload.
So we're cranking our bitrate today. But yeah, okay, we got 18 people here now. So
sweet.
If you missed that little introduction, this is Zachariah Mayfield.
What's up, guys? He
is a filmmaker, YouTuber, and musician. We were just talking about his rock band called Earth Groans. We're using it literally as a coaster today. But we're actually in Zach's home right now.
Yeah.
This is literally his bedroom.
This is where I edit all day, every day.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
We loaded in some Blackmagic Pocket 4K footage on his iMac here, which is a much beefier machine than what I have. I've just got this MacBook Pro.
She's pretty.
But if you guys have any questions, are there audio issues? Sound echo. Echo. Dadgummit, we're getting echo.
We got echo.
I'm hearing it right now.
Connor's checking it out. You probably heard that twice.
Dang it. Okay, well, how about this?
We could just try one mic.
Cut mine.
Okay.
So
I'll just pull the volume down.
Check.
So now only mine should be on.
Yeah. There you go. Dang it. Okay, well. Sorry, guys. Bear with us.
We're getting it figured out.
So crank that up. Check. Hey.
Check.
Check.
So now only mine should be on. I think this should work. We're still getting.
Okay, guys. Sorry, there's 28 people here now. So, man, guys, we have had the worst issues with echoes.
We spent so much time getting that right too.
Dang it. All right. Well, I'm gonna just sit a little bit closer then to Zach. All right. So we got 30 people here now. Again, this is not Connor. This is Zach Mayfield.
Not Connor.
YouTuber. Connor.
That's the real Connor.
Connor is back here editing.
Guys.
He's actually editing a Kinotika video for you guys, but we are going to be using. We got OBS loaded up here with what you edit in. What do you?
Premiere. I'm using Premiere Pro.
Cool. So
and then we also got DaVinci on here.
Yeah.
Which you're better at than me.
So we want to look through some of this Blackmagic footage. There's a lot of people that have asked me about the Blackmagic camera, and before we look at the footage, Zach, what are your initial thoughts of the camera just in general, the Blackmagic Pocket 4K?
Yeah.
And talking to them.
Yeah. Hi. Hopefully you can hear me okay, but it looks really cool so far. I'm really stoked because I'm a Micro Four Thirds user. I've been shooting with. I started with the GH4 and I loved that camera. It was just really noisy.
This is Zach's camera right here.
There she is. That's a GH5, which I shoot on now. And I do a lot of like music videos. That's kind of my main thing. And then I do some wedding films as well. And I've been using the GH5 for those for like the last year. Well, actually right when it came out, so however long that is. And so I'm stoked that I can kind of like take all my lenses and speed booster and switch over to the Pocket 4K. I'm just curious to like get my hands on one and see how the low light is. That's what I'm most curious about.
So we will definitely be getting our hands on a Blackmagic camera as soon as possible. I will say that we did order the Nikon Z6. We ordered the EOS R like yesterday. And we've got the A7 III. We're going to be doing comparisons on all those when we get them. But the Blackmagic's supposed to come like literally this month.
Yeah.
So hopefully
is it
we'll
delayed or not? Do you know?
No, they're saying they're shipping it on time,
Okay,
so that'd be great.
Because I know it's delayed on B&H right now.
Did you pre-order one?
No, I look at the date like every day just to see if it's getting delayed, and now it's in October, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
never mind. So
I'm not sure though.
Captured Moments asking, Zach, do you do a lot of handheld work on your GH5?
Yes, I do a lot of handheld, but for productions like music videos, I actually don't use the sensor stabilization. I turn that off. I usually like rig my camera up to be a little heavier, and I shoot a lot of like rock music videos, so I like the kind of really aggressive style footage. So if you're wondering about like sensor stabilization, I don't think I'll miss it too much with the Blackmagic.
And Sebas from Spain, thanks for watching. He's 16 years old, and he's from Spain. Watches all of our videos.
Welcome.
Awesome. So if you haven't seen Zach before, check him out. I linked his channel in the description. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel.
Thank you.
Let's just jump into this. So we've got the Blackmagic Pocket 4K footage loaded up here. Let's switch to that. Perfect.
So we're in Premiere
this is
now.
so much fun.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet.
So hopefully you guys can still hear us, but see the Premiere footage.
Yep.
So what are we looking at here? This is the walking test.
Yeah, this is the walking test. Connor and I were commenting on how she kind of looks like the Joker.
Oh my gosh. You're right.
She's like, how did I get these scars?
So this looks like it was shot in the Blackmagic film profile, which is the flat profile.
Mm-hmm.
We did load in Filmconvert, and we loaded in the Ursa Mini 4.6K,
right,
which should be pretty close, roughly, to the same. To the same color space.
Yes, I think.
So we're gonna just literally throw. That's it.
Cool.
Throw Filmconvert on there, and boom! It immediately looks.
Oh, it's looking so good already.
Really nice, really cinematic.
It's
but
a little grainy.
Yeah, so let's knock down some of that. I'm just gonna So right now, I'm not touching anything. Zach is doing everything.
Yeah.
So just go through your process here, and let's just analyze the image.
So I'm really used to grading vlog from the GH5. The 10-bit files look good, so I'm kind of.
You can switch the camera every once in a while. Yeah. Hey.
We're back. I'm used to grading GH5 footage that's shot in vlog, so it looks like this is a little less flat than vlog, but I'm just kind of gonna apply those principles and what I usually do to this footage, and kind of see what we can get.
Basically, multicam as if you were editing, right?
Yeah.
When you switch between.
Yeah, this is cool.
The Sony and the Premiere.
I've never done live stream stuff,
So I don't know, maybe tweak your temperature and stuff. Now, this is a ProRes file, so we're not getting full RAW, and that's what, when we get to the Resolve setup, we're going to have the RAW files that were provided by Blackmagic. Oh, do you want to... Sorry, they shouldn't see any of that.
Right.
So let's flip through... Yeah, so you're going to flip through some of the
I'm really liking this one.
It's the Fuji one?
Yeah, it's really nice. I like how the skin tone looks.
And then turn that on and off.
Yeah, let's see what
on Filmconvert.
So this is without anything on it. It's really flat, and that's just like the basic.
Yeah, there's literally nothing done there.
And that already looks so good.
Can you zoom in a bit on that
totally.
As well?
Yeah, here's what we got.
Sweet. So the skin tones are looking really, really nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It shouldn't look too different from the GH5S because that's really, I mean, it's the exact same sensor. So. It's not super sharp, I'm noticing.
Yeah, there's a little noise here in the shadows too.
Was this a 4K file?
Yes, this is all shot in 4K DCI. So 4096.
So you guys probably can't tell on the stream, but when we zoomed in, it was not super sharp.
Right. It might be out of focus too. I can kind of.
Yeah. So John Brawley shot this. He's a DP from Australia or New Zealand, I don't know, but he knows what he's doing. He lit it properly. It looks great. Skin tones are good here.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
And let's just pause it right there.
Okay.
Because I really want to look at the dynamic range on this. So zoom in to like the sky, and let's look at that. So Zach, you're used to editing the GH5 vlog.
Yeah.
What are some of the characteristics of vlog that you really love, and like, are you seeing any difference here with this Blackmagic?
Right. It feels kind of familiar as far as like how flat it is. I think vlog might be a little more flat, but it's looking really good. There definitely feels like there's a lot of detail in the highlights, or it's probably, I think it claims 13 stops, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's more than the GH5.
Yeah, the GH5, like it has a similar sensor size. I mean, the GH5 has a micro four thirds. This is very, very close. It's like the GH5S, but it's that Sony sensor. And with the GH5S, it really, at least in my experience, had a much better color science to it.
Yeah.
And we're getting that. Plus, we're getting Blackmagic's own color science in addition to just the sensor itself being better.
Yeah.
So before you throw Filmconvert on there,
okay,
I'd like to switch seats with you and do some manual color grading on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it,
dude. We got this little circus going on here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back into Premiere, and
Are you just gonna use like Lumetri color stuff?
Yeah.
So
effects.
Yeah, we'll go to that little arrow and hit effects.
Okay.
Our Premiere window is really small because we're having to fit multiple windows.
Yeah,
for
you
the
guys
live
can't.
stream.
You guys can't tell, but it's.
And then just type in Lumetri color there.
Which one
in
is
the
it?
search. Just go in the search and type in Lumetri color.
Sorry, guys. I am not a.
We're gonna get this worked out. Here. Yeah. There you go.
So which one?
We'll just here type in the full thing. Lumetri color. Okay. That's cool. Okay, there you go.
There it is, color correction.
There you go. And
Sorry,
you can just
guys.
throw that on the adjustment layer too if you want.
Oh, okay,
It's up to
gotcha.
you.
Oh well.
That'll
So let's where's scopes and stuff?
That should be. Well, here I have these scopes open already,
Sure,
and then there you go.
Sweet. Okay. So let's start messing with where are our wheels?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry guys, I am a Final Cut guy. All right, so I'm gonna immediately just start going into grading this, and we're just looking for dynamic range, performance. We're gonna take the the shadows down to 0, and then
Let's see what the highlights.
The highlights are gonna be really fun to look at here.
Pull it down and see. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of info there. The sun obviously is blown out.
That looks good though.
But like going from default, which is here.
Yeah, and you can see.
Look at all that extra sky that we got.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of detail there. I was actually surprised.
And then you could boost our midtones up or something too, if you wanted to do. I mean, if you want to really get into this and do a window on the sky and then this normal or whatever, you can spend all your time on that.
Yeah.
But saturation,
I
just
don't
boost that up.
There you go.
So back in the old days, so I actually used to work I was wearing a hat. I was wearing a hat all day, so look at that.
Looking good, dude.
But yeah, I used to edit, or I used to own the Blackmagic Pocket camera, and basically the way that I would color grade is I would literally just pull my shadows down and then crank my saturation. That was it. So sometimes I would adjust my highlights a little bit, but by simply pulling the shadows down at the right level and then just cranking saturation up like quite a bit, it looks very kind of Alexa-ish, which is kind of fun. This is obviously a little dark and needs to have a little bit more work on it, but I mean, that's kind of fun. So let's move on here. This is another shot that John Brawley shot. Again, this is all ProRes, and let's go ahead and throw Lumetri on there as well and do the color wheels. Zach, can you look at the comments here and see if anybody's talking? I have everything inverted. I don't know if you use it that way.
Juan Diaz said, Final Cut guy, unsubscribing. Amen.
Hey, I need to turn this one on to defend my use of the Final Cut. I love Final Cut. This is a base model 13-inch MacBook Pro. I paid $1,100 for it, and it works flawlessly with Final Cut. So Give me a break, all right? If you have a cheap machine, Final Cut's a great program. All right, so we're looking at this footage here, and definitely not the best color in the image. I mean, there's a lot of kind of green tint going on here.
I would love to mess with that one with Filmconvert and see what I can do with the skin tone.
Okay.
When you're done with this.
Yeah, totally. Because you're the master at Filmconvert.
That's like, Filmconvert is all I use. And I just love it because it's so fast.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
try
how
to
about-
have very quick turnarounds for my projects.
Well, then why don't... Here, let's switch back again.
Okay.
I'll turn off Lumetri.
Can mess with it a little bit?
Let's make this skin tone look perfect.
Okay. I'll just kind of run through the process of what I do for my GH5 footage.
And Juan Diaz, yes, we are going to go into Resolve after this and look at the raw files, which I know a lot of you guys want to see that. But overall, like, so far so good. You got to remember this camera only costs like $1,200.
Yeah, and it comes with Resolve Studio,
which is
like
the full version.
which is like 300, right?
No, it's 1,000, I thought. Or did they lower it?
I don't know.
I remember a couple years ago it was like $1,000. Let us know if it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions, hit me up with @Kinotika in the chat. Then that way I can see that you're talking to me directly. But yeah, let's go back to Premiere and look at Filmconvert on this particular shot.
That's a really cool shot, actually.
The only thing with this shot is the green tint.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can kind of get that out. So what I usually do is I'll put Filmconvert on an adjustment layer.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you got to select your camera.
And we're doing Filmconvert obviously doesn't have the perfect setting yet.
Right. And do we choose this one? This color profile?
I think so, but
okay, yeah.
Wow, that looks nice.
It's really saturated and contrasty, but we'll see what we can do. So I also will take Lumetri,
and do a base correction underneath.
I'll actually just add some, using the color wheels, I'll just add a little bit of like that teal looking color to the shadows.
Okay.
Just like a smidge. So
why do you do that instead of using, you just like Lumetri more than the wheels built into Filmconvert?
I've found that the shadow wheel in Lumetri has just better control than the one in Filmconvert. Yeah. And I can kind of like separate that color a little easier doing that.
Totally.
So we'll just roll with this initial one. I'm going to just take all the grain out so we can, it's still a little noisy, but it doesn't look bad.
And you and Connor were mentioning how like this bokeh has like a lemon shape to it.
You can see here, this one's like totally spherical, and then this one's like a lemon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what lens they use, but it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I think it's just they're definitely using some cinema glass, and a lot of those have very unique characteristics to them.
So what I do for skin tones is I'll look up crop. I'll put that on my clip. And so what I'll do is I'll use, where'd she go? There it is. I'll use the crop to kind of separate the skin from everything else.
I've never seen this before.
I just kind of started doing this like a few months ago. So basically now all that this is reading is her skin tone, and you can see that it's definitely towards the yellow green.
Yeah.
So then I'll go back.
She is a darker skinned person.
Yeah. So what we'll do is go back to Filmconvert, and I'll just use my midtones wheel to start correcting her skin tone. And that line, this line right here is the line you want to have for your skin tones. And then the further up you go is the more saturated image you're going to get.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to make it look
clever,
natural.
Clever girl.
Just kind of a quick way to, let's get rid of that crop for a second. It's looking a little magenta-y.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Right. It's also, it's just a very, very contrasty image. Oops. Go back.
Grant is asking, which is better or best starter camera, GH5 or Bmpcc? I would definitely say that the GH5 is a better starter camera, Grant, just because for roughly the same amount of money, you're getting internal body image stabilization. You're getting the ability to take, decent photos. You do have the flip out screen if you're a vlogger or a YouTuber. The app integration is better.
I would hands down pick the GH5 over
for a beginner
because you get your flip out screen, and it's just more of a versatile camera.
And the autofocus is not anywhere near what the Sony or Canons are, but there is continuous autofocus.
Yeah.
And on the Blackmagic camera, it's all manual.
Yeah.
You can do a push button AF, but I mean, it's not continuous at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely much better.
Hey, thanks Mel. By the way, it is $300 for studio.
Oh, cool.
They dropped the price back when I was using the original Blackmagic cinema camera. It was $1,000.
Oh wow.
Hey, congrats Connor, but don't let Dave see you celebrating with a subscriber milestone. What are you saying? Oh yeah. Connor, you missed my. So I don't. Furworks follows me on Twitter, but.
I know.
Yeah, did you see that tweet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't stand the celebratory like videos on YouTube. It's like.
But that was a celebratory comment. It's fine.
Yeah, like maybe even a tweet is okay, but like when you make a video that's all about 50,000 subs, like why? Like who cares?
Because it's cool, dude.
But is it cool to the audience?
No, I'm
it's
just
cool
messing.
to me. It's cool to you.
Yeah.
But like I was watching some other YouTuber and he had like 100,000 sub, celebration video. And if you look at all of his videos, like they all were averaging like 100,000, 200,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that one video had like 20,000 views. So like it's a substantial drop, and like the audience just doesn't care.
That's interesting.
So let's go back here to Premiere and look at what you got here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it
a lot of contrast.
It's very contrasty. That's
the color is not. It doesn't seem like it's super easy to grade. Like it's very malleable. I mean, this ProRes file is really chunky and thick, and you got a lot of great color information there.
Yeah.
This is 10-bit 4K, and it's ProRes, so it's gonna play really well on a Mac. But at least with the lighting that he was using, we're getting some really bad color in the skin tones.
Yeah, I'm just trying to balance it, keeping my highlights down.
And this is like one of the things that when I was seeing some of this footage coming out, I was extremely disappointed because I think just the lighting was not good in some of these tests.
Yeah, it might have been where they didn't want to push the ISO too high, so maybe they lit it really dark, and that's why it's so contrasty. Because even when I boost the shadows, it's like here you can see, like the shadows aren't even like clipping at all.
Can you turn everything on and off real quick?
Yeah.
Just so everybody can see
let me go
what we've done. So this, again, we're using a combination of Lumetri and Filmconvert.
So that just added a little bit of coolness to the shadows, and then that's without Filmconvert.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a substantial...
So contrasty.
There's a lot of information there. Let's just move on.
Let's try a different one.
Skip the bike, because we're going to go to that and resolve.
Okay. See, this one is...
And again, guys, if you have any questions, say at Kinotika, and we'll answer anything.
So here's the...
So this is trees.
I think this one is actually shot in 60 frames per second. Yeah. So we can just slow that down to 40%.
Cool.
It's a little bit smoother now.
Nice. So is that 4K 60?
Yeah, and it's DCI, so that's that's full 4096 by 2160.
So
that's cool.
So one of the things that was a huge problem with the old Blackmagic cameras, I'm teaching you right now, because did you own one?
Please give me a lesson. No, I've never owned a Blackmagic.
You have really beautiful blue eyes, by the way.
Thank you.
Just so I noticed.
Thank you so much. What a guy.
I'm blushing. But one of the things that was really bad about the original Blackmagics is they had this thing called like IR pollution, which caused a lot of the shadows and the blacks to kind of go into this brownish kind of hue. And I'm seeing that already here in the tree footage.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to the Blackmagic people at NAB, I said, are you guys putting an IR filter on the camera to help with the IR pollution? And they said no. So Red, Ari, Blackmagic, cinema cameras, they don't put IR filters on their cameras because it technically softens and degrades the image. But like Canon and different companies like that put IR filters on their cameras to cut this thing called IR pollution, which is kind of a common occurrence in sensors.
Yeah.
And like I said, it basically converts the shadows to a brownish hue. Now, obviously, these are trees that are brown, but you can just see how in the shadows it's almost got this brownish cast in the shadows, where it should be true black.
I'm interested to see this highlight recovery too.
Okay, so let's go back to Premiere and
let's reset this. Let's pull the highlights down. Oh, they're not even clipping yet. Yeah, those are pretty gone.
Okay. So if this was a raw file, it would all be there. Yeah. And honestly, with the Blackmagic camera, I do think most people are gonna probably shoot in ProRes, but in a situation like this, having raw would be huge because you'd be able to pull all those highlights down. And it's kind of a shame that Blackmagic didn't provide the raw files for this.
Yeah.
The only raw file that Blackmagic provided is this one bike shot.
Yep.
So, which we'll get to, and it's kind of a flat shot. So
I'm just trying to see what we could do to. I'm just not used to correcting this footage. It's very different than the GH5.
So how do you shoot with Vlog? Do you expose to the left or right?
I don't. I use the waveform monitor, and I just try to keep it where the skin tones are. I don't set it up perfectly for every shot.
Yeah.
But I always try to make sure my highlights are not clipping. Yeah. Like if I'm outdoors, that's my number one thing with Panasonic cameras. Just make sure the clouds are intact.
Yeah.
And I can kind of correct the rest.
Yeah.
But
this is a weird shot right now that we're playing with.
This is definitely a shot to challenge the camera because you're exposing for something really dark, and I mean this is gonna be a struggle with any camera. These highlights, the sun is right there, so this is very hot. It's very bright.
But again, like I said, if this were raw, you could pull your highlights down and boost your shadows, and it would hold all of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And because it's not raw, we're not getting that. Yeah. It's a really boring shot, actually.
It is kind of boring. Let's see if there's any more interesting.
I mean, we got flare and stuff. Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay.
That was one of the tests that I was kind of that was actually, I think, one of the first tests was this forest. And I was like, why is this? I want skin tones.
I was hoping for them to make short films or something really epic, but it was kind of people just diddling with the camera.
That's okay. I mean, if the camera's coming out this month, we'll get our hands on it and we'll be doing proper tests for you guys. So let's move on to this next shot here. Another woman next to the window here.
Yeah.
This is great skin tones, and it was definitely obvious that Blackmagic was showing a variety of ethnicity. They had an Asian guy, a black girl, white girl.
Just kind of cycling through.
On all their tests here with John Browley, and so that's real important, actually, believe it or not, as racist as I just sounded saying that. That wasn't racist.
No, it wasn't racist.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
By having different colors of skin tone, you can really see how good the sensor is, because a lot of times, unfortunately, certain sensors can be designed to work best with certain skin tones and not others, and I think that's why they're doing this, was to show that it works with all skin tones. So
looks amazing
too. This shot looks better than that previous one we were messing with. That was lower light.
Yeah,
I think because we're getting a nice
this is definitely just lit by the window.
Yeah,
and they have just little warm accent.
So let's cut back to Premiere on OBS real quick so we can see it.
Yeah.
So have you applied stuff?
Yeah, this is with just basic Filmconvert.
So you've done essentially nothing.
Nothing
you just applied the standard codec one.
Yep.
So let's play around with it. Zoom in on her skin and let's just take a look at it.
Let's see what we got here.
Hello.
That's very clean. This is much more clean than the low light one.
Can you let's turn off Filmconvert and just look at the native log file. So I do think that he's exposing a little bit too dark. If you look down here at the scopes on the bottom right, you really need to be exposing more towards the middle, if not higher when you're shooting log. Regardless, this is what we have, and once we apply a LUT, which essentially is what Filmconvert is, it's a LUT, or if you do a real grade, you can really see that. If you guys want to see anything specific here, let us know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to this image and just kind of tweak it a little bit. Yeah, that looks really, really cool.
I mean, that's straight out. Let's pull your highlights down and see if is that lamp held in the back there, or is that out? No, that's totally out. Again, this is ProRes. That's not something that is going to be a huge issue if you're shooting. I mean, having that blowout's fine for the most part.
It's a very contrasty image.
Well, you got the Filmconvert on.
I know, but like usually with the GH5, like I crush like all of this information like right down to 0. Whereas this looks really dark even right above it.
Yeah, I think it's really just because he exposed it a little under.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Filter through some of those different film stocks.
Okay.
So if you guys have never heard of Filmconvert, you should definitely do the trial.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite plugins. I don't use it a ton on our channel just because I try to just shoot everything natural. But it's really fun to play with, and it's got so many great cinematic
that looks really
looks.
Nice.
So
yeah, it's really cool.
basically, it's applying film scans from real film and applying it to your footage.
Yep. And the film grain on here is really, really nice.
It's really nice, yeah.
They probably can't see that.
So let's cut back to Sony here. Let me see if any of you guys have questions. Found some true 4K raw files. It only works in Resolve though. Yeah, so we're gonna move over to Resolve now. I loaded in the motorcycle footage that we were provided by Blackmagic, so I'm gonna switch
Let's
seats.
do the old swappy.
Swap to swap. Swap to swap. And again, if you guys have any questions, let us know by going at Kinotika.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I feel like a noob color grading this footage.
It's okay.
I feel like I've never graded before with this camera.
So this shot here, I'm just gonna play it. This is, how can I make this viewer a little bit bigger?
Oh man.
It should. Resolve's so annoying.
Hey Siri, make the thing bigger.
Oh.
You don't seem to be playing anything right now.
So anyways, this is what it is. I can here, you know what, in OBS I'll just scale that up a bit.
Okay.
Sorry guys, bear with me. Hello. Okay, cool.
Bear
That's a
with
little
us.
bit better. And then I think I just messed us up. Hello. We're let's do a little PMP here. A little picture in picture. So, we've got this footage here. I'm going to play it. This is shot in a slow motion mode.
Someone said press Control F. I don't know if maybe that would have helped.
Oh, okay. Well, we're here now. So this is some slow-mo footage. Not the best thing to play around with RAW because there's just not a lot of great highlights here.
Yeah.
There's no skin tones here at all. We do have some highlights in the tree and stuff, I guess. And then it just kind of like racks focus to this leaf. So not the best footage
The
in the
highlights
world.
are like, I mean, it's a cool, like it's all there.
Yeah, it's a flat, like this was an overcast day. The footage is not like the most exciting footage in the whole wide world. But let's go ahead and play around with it anyways. I am going to resize this again on OBS. Bear with me. Cool. And then I'll put us over here. You guys are seeing
We're just
me
dancing
like,
around the screen right now.
you guys are seeing this live stream. It's like going bananas right now. There we go. Cool. Okay. So, so if you have never used Resolve before, it's super duper,
Super duper.
it's super duper, complicated in a lot of ways. I still am like no expert by any means. But basically, once it's loaded in here, you can edit. You can also XML your footage over. And so say you edit in Premiere or Final Cut and you want to shoot it over to Resolve to color grade it. It shows up in this editor here. And everything is pretty intact when you bring it over. And then once you, then you come to this color selection thing here. So let's look specifically at the raw setting. So we want to decode using clip. Our white balance is as shot, but as you can see, I can change the white balance to tungsten. If I want to literally dial it in here,
That's so
I can
cool.
dial it in. Since this is an overcast day, I would say probably like 5900, 6000 is good. It's a little orangey actually, so I'll change that to 5600. Cool. Color space is using Blackmagic Design, but I can switch it to Rec 709, and then boom, you have like a really nice starting point, extremely punchy. If you want to apply a LUT, you can do that. So like here is ARRI Alexa C-Log to Rec 709, which is kind of cool. So you're using like an Alexa LUT with this. I'm going to turn that off though, because we want to kind of do this manually. Let's see.
Is my mouse
yeah,
too
no
fast for you?
Yeah, I'm not used to this
My
setup.
mouse is really fast.
You can change the gamma from film to video, which is cool. And then they have this new one called extended video, which is, as you can see the difference here, look at the highlights there. What did you say? Command what?
Control F, or yeah, Command F for Mac.
Oh, full screen. Yeah, that's just full screen. Yeah, as you can see, there's a new mode here. So this is video. And then when I change it to extended, look at those highlights back there, how they change. So that's really cool. It's kind of like a YDR on Canon here with Blackmagic. So that's pretty dope.
Franco says, why not use the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K profile on Resolve 15.1 instead? Is there one?
The 4K...
Oh, is he talking about that?
Yeah. So I was just showing you guys the different gamma settings, but yeah, I mean, I have it right here. I don't know if you can see, it's small on the OBS window there, but you can select Pocket 4K film, and that's a great starting point. We have ISO control and everything, so I'll boost it to 1000. You can see that there. Having RAW is just so great. I'm going to go ahead and go up to like 800 because it's actually a little underexposed. You can change your exposure, RAW values, like
wild.
so.
I've never gotten to work with RAW footage before. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's going to be great, and there is a little compression with the Pocket 4K as well. You can do compressed RAW or uncompressed, so you can save file space and stuff. So let's go over to the wheels and just do like a live color selection here. I do have my scopes open, but you can't see it because it's a separate window, and I don't have OBS like reading that. So I'm just pulling my shadows down. I'm going to boost my gamma up, my gain, which is our highlights. And as you can see, like if I were to, can you zoom in on?
Dude, I have no idea. I've never used Resolve. I probably should, but.
Oh yeah. Here's the zoom. Sorry guys, I'm definitely not
a
big Resolve guy.
One is trying to send us some 4K RAW 4:1 footage.
Okay. Is it not this?
I'm trying to. Hold on, Juan.
I'm trying to zoom in on the highlights here. So check out the highlights in the background. That's really where you see the power of RAW. Like watch it just blow out like crazy, and then like all that data is there. Unfortunately, this is not a really good example because there's just nothing to show here. Like if we had that shot of the trees with the sun coming in, like that would be perfect for RAW to play around with. But yeah, I mean, it's really easy to quickly just color grade stuff. I'm going to take my level, my shadows down to where they need to be. There is quite a bit of noise in the image, and it's just because I'm messing around with everything, and it like, where are we at? We're at 800 ISO. So if I want less noise, obviously like you can literally see the noise go away, just like the
That's
image
crazy.
here, how it all went away when I went down to the left corner because you have hotkeys on. But yeah, like it's exactly like adjusting your ISO in camera in RAW. So like look at how grainy everything is at 800, which I'm not gonna lie is not the like most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Well, I think also this footage was not in 4K.
Okay.
So it may have been cropped
This is 1080. Yeah.
It might have been, because isn't there like a sensor crop with slow motion frame rates?
That's true.
So it might just be noisier at lower resolution, higher frame rate.
So this is 640 and it's very noisy. So I guess that's what's happening here is because we have 1080p slow motion.
It looks like it's in 120.
It's just not good quality, unfortunately. Why didn't they give us like true 4K? This guy, is he given us some.
Well, I think this is in like 120 frames per second.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I wish that Blackmagic on their website had some 4K stuff.
Some 4K raw.
Yeah. I'm going to play around with the...
Yeah, Juan is trying to send us some, but this is on your laptop, so I don't know how we would do that.
We can open up...
I guess you could send me the link to my computer.
We can just open up the live stream here. And... Are you logged in?
Yeah.
Kinotika. We're live now. Hey-o. It's like Inception. All right, where is that link, Juan? I'm looking at the chat.
Furwork says the Pocket Cinema camera doesn't apply any noise reduction in camera, so you do need to add some in your NLE compared to other cameras.
Cool. So that's what's cool about the Blackmagic is you get the full version of Resolve, which has noise reduction. We're using the free one right now, and it does not have noise reduction in the software. It's something that is only on the studio version. Mm-hmm. So you get that. That'll be good. You know, if you're a beginner just starting out, like, this is really not the best camera for you. And that's okay. Like, we know that. This is a cinema camera. This is not just another camera to, like, turn on and just go. Like, that's not what it's for.
So what do you think this...
So I mean, I have messed with it. There's definitely a lot of dynamic range there.
That looks good.
Not the best color grade in the world. I'm literally just doing this in like 2 seconds.
It's hard just randomly starting to grade a new camera's color. It's crazy.
So Juan, can you relink us?
I think he just did.
Can you relink it again? Can you put it in the chat?
Oh, it says, well, the chat keeps hiding it.
Oh. Allow it.
Show.
Yeah, hit show.
Okay.
Boom. Okay. Okay, cool.
There we go. We got it.
All right, so we're going to download this footage that Juan just sent us. He's saying that it's true 4K raw.
Yeah, he's saying it's 4:1.
It says file not found. So, what's Juan? What's the YouTuber that has it? Oh, maybe it's .com. Oh, Dropbox.com on the front. That's what he said.
Yeah, gotcha.
Dropbox.
Don't worry, ladies and gents. We're getting this worked out.
Boom. Boom. File.
I think we're getting it.
I think so. So while we're just waiting around here, nope, I can't get it. Juan, just link me the YouTuber that has it on their site. But while we're doing that, let's talk more about the camera. Zach, you've never used RAW before. Is it something that you want to use now that you're seeing this?
I'm actually not super crazy about RAW just because I really want ProRes.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. The ease of editing is more appealing to me than RAW because when I'm shooting, I'll be more concerned with exposing correctly. And if you're good at exposure, I feel like I don't know. I don't think I would use it very much.
Yeah, I think the Blackmagic is a camera that I was originally thinking we would use like on a daily basis on Kinotika. But now that we have the A7 III and like all these other cameras with really good autofocus are coming out, like the EOS R, this Panasonic camera potentially could be really good, and the A7S III, it just doesn't make sense for me as a quote YouTuber now.
Yeah, I feel like it might not be as appealing to YouTubers, which is interesting because they put like the front record button and there's that click focus.
Yeah.
But there's no flip out screen or anything. I think it's kind of more of a niche, like if you're doing like filmmaking and you want a really small rig, like something very portable, like even like documentary stuff.
Yeah.
But then you don't have sensor stabilization either, so I don't know. I still want it, but
I know I still want it too. Do you guys want it? Let us know in the chat. This wasn't like the most technical video in the whole wide world. I'm sorry about that, but we are just looking at the footage that was given to us. Let's go ahead and I'm going to add another. Were you going to say something, Zach?
No, he Juan just sent the YouTube link.
Oh, got it.
as
Okay.
well.
So Juan just sent us.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think? Like, what cameras does this one compete with?
I do think that the GH5S, of course, is going to be a huge competitor. I think any other Blackmagic camera, in a weird way, also is competition.
Yeah. 'Cause you can get like 4 of these for the price of an Ursa Mini.
I know.
Which
That's
is
the
crazy.
thing. The thing that you guys have to remember is like this camera costs like virtually the same as a lens for any camera. I mean,
Yeah.
which is kind of nuts. I'm not seeing download links here.
RJ
Juan.
says, yes, I want it, but yeah, I'm not going to use it as a main camera. Waiting on that S3, like the A7 S3, and they're currently using the A7 III. I'd say for YouTube, that the A7 III is amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead and just play this here. Bear with us.
Hey, Connor's back.
There's
Hi,
Connor.
guys.
Say hi to Connor. All right, so let's look at this footage here that Juan sent to us after the ad plays. Why don't you have premium? Premium is so great, dude.
You have premium?
Yeah, I love it.
Whoa, I can't afford
All right,
premium.
so this is some footage here that Juan sent us. We're having some internet buffering
I
issues.
think I did see this.
So this came out when did this come out? Last week. I actually haven't seen this. Whoever graded this definitely tried to like hold the highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw this in the EOS HD forum.
Gotcha.
So I'm seeing a lot of, I'm gonna pause it. I'm seeing all this magenta IR pollution stuff that I was kind of worried that it would have.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. So like it's
There's
definitely
some weird
there.
like greens, I think.
It's definitely there. This guy I think shot raw and edited it. The grade on this is not very good. No offense to this guy. Yeah, I mean 4K at 60 is great. That's that's kind of the thing right now is like if a camera has 4K at 60 frames per second, like
Yeah.
it's going to be a boss.
Yeah.
I mean let's pause it there. There's a lot of dynamic range in that picture.
Yeah.
We've got
I really like that image.
highlights that would definitely clip here. You have shadow detail down here and even highlights down here by the bridge. So this image, that's really pretty to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this guy probably could have done a better job at grading it. But you know, he's probably not a colorist.
Yeah.
Another shot here, you can clearly see how his highlights were blown out and he pulled them back. And that's why it kind of has this weird magenta color in the clouds and stuff. But it's holding all that detail really nicely. But like, honestly, this doesn't look much better than the original cinema camera, the Blackmagic cinema camera, or even the original pocket camera. The only huge advantage is you get 4K at 60
Yeah.
and 120, which none of those older cameras do.
Did the other Pocket have ProRes files?
Yeah, so the tiny little pocket camera that was $900,
Yeah.
I owned 3 of them, and I broke one of them. It snapped in half when I was in Nicaragua, because it's made of like a plastic body.
Okay.
So it literally snapped in half. I
Wow.
still have it. But those things, like they shot raw internally on SD cards and ProRes.
That's
And
amazing.
I loved them. They're great. And the only way to get around the IR pollution issue that I keep talking about is you need like a IR cut filter is what they're called. What's the one I use? Hoya. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking
On the
about.
lens itself?
Yeah, so this is exactly what you need to get if you want to fix the image pollution. So like, check this out. I bet you anything there's going to be somebody in the review that said they used it on the Blackmagic. No, these are old. If I change the filter size maybe, but
This is probably pretty popular to use with that camera, you're saying?
yeah, it was extremely popular. I used it on mine. And it kind of fixed the issue completely. Yeah, here you go. Check it out. This filter is fantastic. All my Tiffin ND filters create horrid hues on everything for my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. They're now looking perfectly normal when I use this filter. In addition to the NDs, no more color shift. IR pollution was a much bigger issue than I believed it before using this filter. So I remember like back when I was all Blackmagic, I literally would not put a lens on if it didn't have this filter on. Like,
really?
it was so bad that I had to use this every time.
It's cool that you have an eye for that issue now, though, because you were seeing things that I had no idea about, like that cast in the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that it taught you that.
So speaking of old Dave Altizer, here you go. This is literally a test that I did
Ayo.
3 years ago on my pocket camera. So this is without that filter that I just showed you. This is a video that's on my Vimeo page, and that's with it. So look at the blacks.
Okay.
I'll zoom in. That's too much. Sorry, guys. Here, let me just maximize that for you on OBS. This is the most janky live stream. So that's without, and that's with. So look at the blacks. This is a black backpack, okay? That's with it. Or that's without, that's with. That's without, that's with. Look at the blacks. It's so subtle. Look at that. See how magenta-ish?
I need to get closer.
You might be off axis. See how magenta-y everything is in the shadows?
Mm-hmm.
And then, boom, it's now true
Whoa.
black. So that's without, that's with. Without, with.
Interesting.
See how actually everything is actually black now?
And you think that's kind of an issue with the new one coming out?
It is an issue with it. It's something that I like straight up just asked them at NAB. I was like, is this going to have IR issues? And they said, yes, it will. And the reason, I don't understand why they don't just build it in, because people who use Panasonic or Canon, they never see it because they put this IR filter in front of the sensor. Canon cameras are really known for never having IR pollution issues, really. You see it a lot with ND filters and stuff. Once you start adding ND, you get a lot of IR. But for some reason, they don't put it in cinema cameras, and like, I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating. But yeah, so I'm seeing a little pollution there. Is there anything else that you guys want to see specifically on the Blackmagic camera? I'll go ahead and pull up the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K footage from John Brawley. Any questions you're seeing there, Zach?
Well, someone is just kind of commenting. Charles Moon is saying he loves the specs of the new camera, but he doesn't like the shape of it. He says it feels rugged.
It's true.
It's a good point. That's definitely something to consider.
Man, Zach, you don't pay for premium, and you don't have an ad blocker.
Well,
All right.
I like to support people's channels.
Well, then in that case, get premium.
Hey.
Because actually, creators make more money when you have premium and you watch their videos.
Oh.
All right, so here is my favorite footage that I've seen so far on the Blackmagic. This has the best color that I've seen. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I watched this one, yeah.
So this guy...
This looks really good.
This guy shot it at
Whoa.
4K 60 frames. And obviously her skin tones look really good.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not really seeing a ton of IR issues in the image. He's graded it pretty good. It is a pretty flat image still, and I think that's just his style. But it looks good. It looks very cinema camera-y, very Alexa-like.
Somebody else sent a test.
So
I just revealed it.
There's a good shot right there. You can see her eyes are nice and colorful and sharp, and then it goes into golden hour at the end here, which it's hard to like make golden hour look bad.
That looks good though, like with the highlights, like that's actually kind of insane. Like you can just see the sun, but everything right around it is totally intact.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this looks very much like something you'd see on Red or Alexa.
Yeah.
That is really cool to see the low light here, because that looks really nice.
Yeah. Does it say what ISO he shot at in the description or anything?
Yeah, so he's like, I was privileged to. Oh, so this is the same guy that did that zoo thing. So it's all shot raw, 4K, DCI, 24 frames per second, shot at 60, ISO 400, 1250, 32, and 5000.
Wow, that looks good.
And he shot it straight to the USB-C drive, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much 95% of it was on the Ronin S. It was shot using the same lenses I have.
Oh, nice.
The Contax Zeiss Primes, which I love.
Hoya Pro.
And check it out. He's using Hoya Pro ND, so he's getting rid of that IR.
So
and he's
got it
using
figured out.
and he's using a speed booster, so it has a more cinematic look.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check this out. So he's talking about those lenses. I love those lenses. I prefer the look of the Contax Zeiss lenses compared to the Lumix lenses. They have way more.
Oh, he shot with the Lumix ones on that zoo one.
Yeah, so having like, it makes sense. Like when you use vintage lenses, like the Contax, which is what I use, it just has a great cinematic look to it. So like, for example, I'll show you what it is here. These are the Contax Zeiss lenses that I use.
They're
and
affordable too.
They're really cheap. I bought a whole kit. They're like $300 each.
Nice.
Pretty much, and they're lenses that were made like in the 90s.
They're like, do they come in different mounts?
So you can retrofit them to mount anything.
Cool.
By this company called Leadax. So they make these adapters that you can use with the Contax lenses, and they mount natively, so you don't need adapters.
Nice.
So Leadax, it's spelled
Just dropping knowledge bombs.
Leitax. I use these with a Canon mount for the Contax lenses. So yeah, I really like that footage. That's probably the best footage I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Is that the Asian girl footage?
Okay, go. Can you look at the chat again? Because Franco is dropping links.
Here's another one by that same guy. Ah, dang it.
You really hate ads. I'm
Well,
just so used to it.
During a live stream, I hate them.
Yeah.
For sure. I haven't seen this one. I noticed that you have because it showed up that
Yep, I've seen this one too.
it showed up on your history that you watched it.
You know I've been checking it out.
Another, I guess this guy's his wife or something, or girlfriend, because same girl. Yeah, I mean,
That looks good.
it's nice. Look at the
I love the blue.
just look at the range here, the dynamic range here. It's just very cinematic. I'm impressed. I think a lot of the problems that I had with the original footage was it just was not shot well, in my opinion. Like this, look at that. You got the detail of all the clouds here. You've got the stairs. But let me just be honest with me, Zach. Can you get this exact same shot on a GH5 and it look pretty similar? Or do you feel like the skin tones are maybe a little better here? Or like, are you getting more dynamic range?
I feel like you could maybe get something really similar with the GH5S, just with a little bit different sensor with the better color. This is super appealing to me. Like specifically this guy's work looks awesome. So I think it just kind of comes down to like what you do with the camera and like getting used to it and changing some things like in the grade. Yeah. But yeah, Franco is leaving us some links to check out in the comments.
More of the same stuff. Looks like his highlights are blown a little bit here. But, you know, he's not using any lighting. This is just natural lighting. Look at that. You got a lot of color information in there, which is great.
Juan Diaz, we see your comments. Quit blowing it up.
Again, this guy, same guy here, is shooting at 400, 6400.
Nice.
Contax Zeiss. I own that lens there. It doesn't look like he was using a IR cut filter on this one. My personal observation is that with a little work, the two cameras can be made almost indistinguishable look-wise. I think he's referring to the micro cinema camera, which is the same sensor as the original Pocket camera.
Okay.
The Pocket 4K has a very nice look on its own. In order to exactly match the Pocket 4K to the old Pocket, the Pocket 4K has to be blurred for matching lower definition. Interesting. During my experiments, I found that one of the elements that really brings 4K a little bit of grain. Interesting. Okay. Well, What is Juan blasting us with here?
Just links upon links. Same with Franco's. He dropped that link. Yeah.
All
right, we're going to the links.
All right, Franco.
Here we go.
Let's check that. Paste.
We got good stream health. Very healthy stream today.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for making it healthy. Dadgummit, every time is an ad. Oh, we just watched that, Franco. We literally just watched that one. Anyways, I don't know. Is there anything else that we want to talk about here with the Pocket?
I don't know.
I think it really just comes down to, like, we need to get our hands on one and, like, do our own...
Shoot our own stuff.
Crazy tests.
Yeah. We could mess with the footage a little more. See what else we can do.
Nah. We don't really have a good... Oh, dude, Mike, thanks. You're always the best. Thanks for giving us the scheduled coffee donation.
Whoa,
You're awesome. We need to get Zach on the live stream. I think we just convinced him to start live streaming, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm able to with my channel yet.
Really?
Do you have to hit a certain amount of
I think like 2,000. You're like 5 or something, right?
It's almost 5, I think.
All right, so let's now transition.
It's okay, Franco. Yeah, sorry for the spam.
All right, let's transition out of Blackmagic, and in the last like 10 minutes here, I want to just open it up to discussion on the chat and any questions that you guys have. Let's just open it up here. I'm gonna begin with talking about.
He said LOL in the chat.
Oh yeah, Connor is like actively a part of the chat /
I'm multitasking
editing.
here.
But I just want to say I've been really kind of. I'm sure you guys have too, but like I've been following the news with the EOS R, the Canon mirrorless, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts here and get you guys up to date on my thoughts. I did a live stream with Caleb Pike and Armando Ferreira yesterday, and it was a lot of fun, and we talked about a lot of stuff. I'll link that in the chat. But basically, the Canon mirrorless system is kind of like the EOS R right now. It's just the first one, and we really need to just wait another probably year or more to see exactly what we want. And what is it we want? We want a full frame 4K at 60 Canon camera.
Yep.
And with IBIS. And we're just simply not getting that with the R. I do think, however, that there will be a way to retrofit an adapter with a speed booster to turn that 4K crop into like a little bit similar to full frame. So it'd be cool to maybe like experiment with that if you guys want to see that. We did do a video on this channel about the EOS, the M50, and using like a fake speed booster to make that 4K better. So I think it'd be fun to experiment with that. But Zach, what are your thoughts on the EOS R? Have you seen any of the specs on it?
Yeah, I've looked at it. It's not interesting to me because like I thought the appeal would be people want 4K full frame.
Yeah,
and the A7 III like smashed.
We're using the A7 III right now.
It's a great camera, and yeah, I don't know. It's cool that it has Canon's autofocus
and their color science.
Yeah, but
and 10-bit. It does have 10-bit out.
I don't really buy all like the Canon color hype.
Really?
I mean, I think they do have wonderful color, but I think a lot lot of companies have. Well, really
Panasonic is so. So let's look here. So we got GH5 versus. Let's do C200.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. Oh, that's GH5S.
Oh yeah, which is even better.
Which
than
is even
the
better.
GH5. We're getting some more questions in here too.
Okay, cool. So this guy here, Michael, there's his channel, Michael, whatever tech channel. On the left we have GH5S, and on the right we have C200.
Oh wow.
So, not a huge difference. Let's go to skin tone. That's all I care about.
That's kind of not.
Well, first off, one of them is in focus and one isn't.
That's not a great shot for skin tone.
This is not a very good test. Let me show you guys. We're going on like a weird rant here, but have you guys seen this amazing profile for GH5 that like turns it into Alexa? Have you seen that?
Yes.
GH5A. I think is what it's
I
called.
have heard about that.
What's it called? It's so beautiful and it looks amazing. What's the name of it? Do you remember?
I don't.
Let me know in the comments. Are we getting some questions? Juan,
Yeah,
Juan, thanks for the donation, dude. You're the
Sorry
best.
for the spam. We love you, Juan. Somebody asked, how do I properly use a vector scope when color grading? And that's like what I did when I cropped in on the skin tone.
Yeah.
And then kept it on that line. I don't know if you want me to do that. Or...
Yeah, let's go back into Premiere and...
Hold on, Desmond. We're going to do this.
All right.
I can do that with that shot quick. Switcherooski. All right, folks. We're doing the old switcheroo.
Can you move Premiere up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully that looks all right. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to show him how to use a vector scope really quick. And this is just how I use it. I'm not a professional colorist or anything, but this is just what I do to try to get.
Make sure they can see it. So move that the OBS window over a little bit.
Should I move it up or what?
Yeah, that's good.
That's fine right there. Okay, so what I do, I'll put a crop on the clip, and then I'll use the crop adjustments to kind of just...
it windows the image.
Yeah, it windows the image because whatever's showing up on this screen is being read by the vector scope. So if you crop it to just show the skin, then that's what the vector scope is showing. So basically this line right here is where you want your skin tones to land. And I just use the midtones wheel on Filmconvert to adjust that. So you can see when I move this, it adjusts this little blotch right here.
There's basically a line, like you already mentioned it, but like you might not be able to see it in the stream. Can you actually zoom in, maybe scale in on that?
On this
on
thing?
OBS? Yeah, just drag. That's the other one. Just click.
Let me try this.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry, I'm new to this.
Oh, it's okay.
Forgive me.
So yes, so just look at the vector scope, which is down there at the bottom right.
This line right here is your skin tone line.
So you want to, and that pretty much applies with any skin tone.
And then you can just use your midtones wheel to adjust that. And the farther up you go, the more it saturates. But you just want to keep that little blotch right on here to get really accurate skin tones. Then you can take your crop off and see how it looks. And then there's just like before and after. Looks really nice.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick way to use it.
Yeah.
That's how I use it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I want to, while we're there, go ahead and go to window capture and then go back to Chrome.
Chrome. Okay.
All right, and then do emotion to update.
This?
Left.
Oh, this one.
So this, if you guys aren't aware, this guy has this amazing profile that you can download that you have to pay for it, but it emulates the look of Alexa, and I think it looks pretty dang nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
So this is GH5 to Alexa, and on the stream, you're not going to get great frame rates here. Sorry about that, guys, but he's done a really good job of converting Vlog from the GH5 to Alexa. And on the EOS HD forum, he's posted a lot of examples. There's a lot of people on there that have also posted some great examples. Can I hop over there real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
So even though the Blackmagic camera has thanks, dude. I almost knocked over a light.
Got it.
Connor saved it.
Even though the Blackmagic camera has amazing color science, it's kind of like, should you really switch?
It's hard to say no because of the price.
I know.
For me, it's like, well, it's only $1,300. Like, you could get 2 of those for.
You can literally buy a lens for that much money, or I mean, sometimes more.
Yeah.
Hold on. I really want to show you guys some examples here, but I'm not finding it on the forum. EOS HD. By the way, this guy EOS HD, he's been causing a ton of drama online right now.
Really? For what?
Just kind of hate towards the industry and stuff, and getting really bent out of shape. If you guys want to be a part of the drama, just check it out on EOS HD.
Join the drama.
All right, so I'm going to switch over to window capture again. And this is some examples that are on the forum. This is using the Alexa profile that I was just showing you that this guy made. I don't know. I just think the way that it looks is just so filmic. Look at that. He's obviously added some grain to it. Really nice. Really nice stuff. There's a whole forum post on EOS HD with a bunch of tests and examples. So this is a log C, which is straight out of an RE Alexa. So this is actual Alexa footage, and that's with a Rec 709 LUT on Alexa footage.
Okay.
And then I was hoping that he would have GH5
Yeah.
also.
Goofy.
Doesn't look like he included that, but okay.
Good job.
But yeah, I saw some of these. I think these are the ones I wanted to show you guys. Like, I just love how filmic that looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Look at the skin tone on that. It's great.
And that's GH5 or GH5S?
GH5. He hasn't done a profile yet for... okay. So check this out. This guy is boss. I'm trying to line it up.
Basta.
This is all GH5 with the profile. This is like a music video that he made.
Oh, wow.
And man, it looks so cinematic. He shot it on, I think he shot it using an anamorphic adapter or something. So he's getting an anamorphic look, which is so great on the GH5. But like some of this footage here just looks so freaking good. And you can buy a GH5 now for like between $1,500 to $2,000 used.
Yeah.
So let's end this whole podcast live stream thing, which is not a podcast because I never convert it to podcast.
Alberto dropped a comment.
What's up, Alberto?
He said, "Hey guys, I'm a little late because I hit a fence while going fast.
What?
Because he got distracted. His leg hurts and his middle finger is making funny noises, but he's fine."
Okay. We're glad you're okay, dude.
Welcome.
Let's end this live stream with the question: GH5 or Blackmagic Cinema Camera 4K? Is that even a good...
Oh man, that's actually really tough.
It's tough because they are different in a lot of ways. One is more of a hybrid photo video camera, the GH5, and it has IBIS, which is a big deal for some people. But the Blackmagic has RAW and it has ProRes built in. So if given the opportunity, which one would you choose?
Well, I already have the GH5.
I know, but like gun to your head, you have to pick one. You have to pick one. You don't own a GH5 yet.
I actually think I would choose the Blackmagic because of like the production side of things.
Yeah. So give them a little, like, what are you doing these days? Like, what is your bread and butter? For video work.
Yeah. So like the thing I do most is direct and shoot music videos, and the GH5 is cool, but I really want ProRes files, and it has a way higher bitrate, which is nice. And it's better in low light, apparently. So we still need to test it, but
yeah,
I shoot a lot of like kind of like dramatic, like dark looking stuff. So that like
you shoot a lot of 4K 60 too. Right?
I do. That's like the main frame rate that I use. So that's very appealing to me, and I don't need IBIS for productions.
That's true.
So I would choose that right now for productions. But if I was just doing YouTube, I would use the GH5 or the A7 III.
Yeah, and like that's where I'm coming from. I think if I had the same situation put in place and it was like pick one or the other, I would pick the GH5 for me. Should you buy a GH5 now in 2018?
If you have to have 4K 60 and you're doing YouTube
and you want IBIS,
otherwise the A7 III is probably a better option.
I mean, we're shooting on the A7 III right now. We're actually using the EOS HD profile, and it looks pretty good, right?
I would pick the A7 III over the EOS R in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah,
I would bury the EOS R. Forget about it.
Do we have any last-minute questions?
Alberto said he'd go for a G7.
Dude, Alberto with the G7 trolls.
Always dropping it.
Always, man. Always. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. I want to formally say that Connor and I are sorry that we have not been posting like full featured videos. Right, Connor?
Oh, yeah.
Connor's working on one. We did a Zion crane and Ronin S comparison with Zach, who owns a Zion crane, so he has a good experience with it. That's why
I'm stoked.
Work together. So that's coming out soon. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We have a big freaking job ahead of us with Photokina. We're leaving in about, it's like 2 weeks from now. And so that's kind of why we've been a little slow on the channel. We posted the Mavic videos. We hope you guys enjoyed that. We are going to be putting out some more reviews between now and Photokina. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to prep and be ready for this ultimate Photokina trip because we're going to have a lot of things to talk about. Let me know on Twitter at Dave Altizer what you guys want to see at Photokina. We're going, the Nikon cameras will be there. The Canon EOS R will be there. Blackmagic, maybe a Sony a7S III, maybe a Panasonic full frame camera will be there. So there's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to see. And Connor and I are going to be working our butts off while we're in Germany. And we wish that Zach could come with us.
I wish.
That would have been fun.
But I don't get to be a full-time YouTuber.
Well, you're a full-time rock star. Check out Zachariah Mayfield. I linked it in the comments. I have it here pulled up. Here is his channel. What is this video here? Day in life. Is this when you guys were on the road?
That's just an average day of what it's like living in a van.
That's awesome.
On tour.
Zach and his sister have an amazing podcast called the Rice Fire Podcast. You can check him out. These are all his videos. I just kind of randomly met Zach because I was scouring the internet for GH5 videos, and
found me.
I literally found you on accident with, which one was it? I think it might be.
It was the I'm moving to Nashville
this one. So this video right here.
Oh gosh, dude, this makes me feel so weird. Can I explain my perspective of meeting you?
Sure.
Because I get this email from Dave Altizer. I was like, why does that sound familiar? Who is this guy? And I look on YouTube and I found you, and I remembered you because I saw your face all over when the Blackmagic got announced.
That's true.
And so I emailed back, I was like, dude, I've actually watched a ton of your videos. And so he lived in Nashville, and I just moved here 2 months ago, so you guys are my first friends here.
Dude, that's awesome. I love it.
I love these boys. They're nice boys.
Zach's awesome guy, good friend. This video here, this is Zach literally moving from Nebraska to Nashville.
Yeah.
And I was really attracted to this video because, well, you're attractive. No, I'm just kidding. Because it said moving into my Nashville apartment, and he put GH5. So those are two things.
Gotta try to get those views.
Those are literally two.
Help me out. My view count's a little low.
Those are two clickbaity things that I saw that I had to meet him. And you don't have Twitter, and I don't have Instagram, so.
Oh yeah.
I have it, but I never use it. FYI, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I'm sorry if you do. I haven't posted in probably 6 months. But yeah, I hit you up on your website. I sent you an email through your website. So
that's crazy.
Zach is an amazing guy. He's got great content. He just needs you guys to take him over the 4,000 mark. Yeah, I thought you were at 5,000.
No.
Okay, we need to get you. Well, let's get you to 5,000.
Go
great. Subscribe to Zachariah. Sorry, dude.
Whatever.
You probably get that all the
Doesn't
time.
matter.
There's so many versions of your name. I guess.
I know. I should probably change it.
But yeah, check out Zach. It's in the description. I'll go ahead and link it in the chat as well. Yeah, just copy and paste that right there.
Okay.
Copy and paste that in the chat. We'll put it in the chat.
It was an honor to be on this. Dude. I really appreciate it. I actually really love your guys' channel, so being a part of it.
Dude.
Very, very special. Thank you all for watching too.
We love you being a part of it. And for anybody who's wondering, this again, I want to remind you, this is not Connor. Connor is over here.
Hi. I'm the real Connor. He's my replacement.
I am the stunt double.
So,
but less athletic.
And yes, I am the only person here who doesn't have long hair. So I am not a long hair dude. I do have my crazy Jew fro going on.
Looks good. Looks clean.
But yeah. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in to the live show. We love being a part of this community. I hope you guys Had fun watching some of this Blackmagic footage. It is an exciting camera, and we will be ordering it as soon as it's available. So yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Check out Zach, linked in the chat, linked in the description as well. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye.